Hi. Well, I've had the Leigh dovetail jig for 20 plus years. I guess it's the old model D1258, the 24-inch wide model. I've loved using it. I've got a lot of various templates for it. But the one part about it that I don't look forward to using it is the dust collection, or the lack of dust collection. Rotting dovetails just spews dust all over the workshop. And as I've gotten older recently, I've really been purchasing tools that have good dust collection. If there's a choice between a tool that has no dust collection and a tool that has dust collection, I'm buying the one with dust collection. Leigh came out with this attachment for their dovetail jigs some years ago, I think. But I've seen it recently used a couple times and just made me think of giving it a try. And I've communicated with a couple of woodworkers. They had good things to say about it, so I pulled the trigger, bought it, and I'm hoping it works like I'm anticipating. And if so, I'll probably be more willing to pull out this dovetail jig. So yeah, I'm going to do I'll open up the box now, take a look at it, and install it on my jig and rod some dovetail and see how well it performs. Let's open this up. Instruction manual, registration, that's it. Certainly doesn't, fortunately it's not a box with 200 bolts and washers. It's always fun. These are probably pieces that mount onto the jig. washers. Or maybe these mount on the jig. I guess I'll find out soon enough. And this looks like for the parts that attach to this that your router rides in. Alright, well, let me read the instructions and get my router jig up here and install it. I keep my jig hanging on the back of my tool cabinet, and besides being convenient, it also helps balance my cabinet. If I open up a large drawer in the front, there could be a possibility of the cabinet wanting to tip a little bit depending on how vigorous I am in opening that. But this weight in the back nicely balances it. So let's get this on the bench and start installing it. So for my particular version of this jig, this goes away and gets replaced with a smaller piece. You do lose these graduations on the side, but I've never used those anyway, so I guess that doesn't really matter. In my case, I need to use this washer. The newer jigs apparently don't require that. Again, they provide something for everything you need. And then another bolt washer, and they provide the Allen wrench. Okay. Now we need to install the finger assembly and make the final adjustment. Now you lower this onto your support board. Based on these instructions, it does look like you'll have to do this, readjust this whenever you change your support board. But it's easy enough to do, and I don't think you change your support board that often. So press it down like this. And put this on. These magnets are very strong. It looks like it's going to work well. Okay, now, so we want to apparently make the support board flush with your, or make this flush with your template fingers. Same thing on this side. I don't think this is critical, but of course it just helps provide good support for your router so the router doesn't tip. Alright, so that looks good. And you can tighten these. And then the final part is to use your router. This is my dovetailing router. Good old quarter cable. This is all pretty lightweight plastic. I'm assuming none of this really gets much abuse, so I would think it should last a long time. I guess place these so you can get your router out. Obviously, depending on which router you use, determine how you put these. That's it. Well, there's no resistance. That's nice. And then I guess you just can position this such that you have space for your guide bushing between this edge and your fingers. And again, this comes off pretty easy. And yeah. Now on mine, they do provide two adapters, which look like you'll be able to fit any holes you want. And actually, with my when you get into dust collection, there's a never-ending collection of adapters that you have to use and fit and adapt the adapters. But I did, among my various adapters, I could connect up to this directly. I could connect up to this, but I wanted to use my small hose on my shop vac directly. And this default fitting was a little loose, so I just wrapped some painter's tape around it, and there, fits good. So it does look like the hose isn't going to drag. Yeah, I'm excited. Give this a try. So I think I've got everything set up. Now they do suggest when you're using this that you have a backup, if you're doing through dovetails, which I tend to do a lot, that you have a backup board pressed directly up against the board that you're routing. And I tend not to do that, but they do recommend it for one, to reduce tear out on your piece, and also it helps prevent the dust from going that way, because of course most of the dust collection is over here. But I'm going to try it like I normally use it and see how that works first. Okay, here is the moment of truth. Let me turn on my vacuum and try some dovetails. I'm impressed. Turn off the vacuum. So, yes, there was a little bit of sawdust. It's not going to capture everything, but beautiful. I can live with that. That is great. I mean, if I'd done that without this vacuum, my bench would be covered with a layer of sawdust, everything. Yeah, this is beautiful. And I didn't even have a backer board installed like they suggested to really minimize sawdust. Well, this is a winner. Now, I had high expectations from this, but I think this actually exceeded my expectations. It's really hard to put an exact number, obviously, on this, but I mean, I would just guesstimate that it picked up 90% of the sawdust that normally would be in the air on a bench and every tool in my workshop. Looks like it pretty much picked up all the fine dust. You just the heavier bits seem to be lying about a little bit, but boy, this has worked great. Really nice support. Definitely feels nicer using the router, whereas without this there could be a little tipping action. Now the support is great. This does not get in the way at all. Maybe one disadvantage, but I think that this is just technique that I'll have to adjust to. Before I installed this, when I used the jig, I would always be down here routing so I could see where my bit was entering the wood. And of course, I'd have goggles on, dust mask, I'd be blasted with the sawdust. Of course, they say don't do that in manual, but that's what I did. And you can't do that now. But I was seeing as I was routing that I was just looking down from here and I could see where the router bit was. And you know, it worked great. And I think that's just something I'll get used to. It wasn't certainly horrible, but boy, that's a small compromise to put up with to get this beautiful dust collection. So yeah, this is going to get a 5-star Amazon rating from me, and I think I would strongly encourage you, if you have a Leigh jig and you don't have one of these and sawdust bothers you, by all means get it. I think you'll love it. Just to clarify, Leigh did not pay me for this review. If I come across a little bit too exuberant in my review of this, it's just because it's a great product. So thanks for stopping by.